The Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, April 25th is now called to order. Andrea, would you please call the roll?
Good evening, everyone. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. It is now 5:03 p.m. Calling the roll, Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schron is absent. Ms. Conwell is absent. Ms. Turner.
Present.
Ms. Stevens.
Present.
Ms. Simon. Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Andrea. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Andrea, is anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes. Pam Mason.
Yeah. Is the green light on your button? You'll just press that microphone, you'll see a green button. A button. Light
Gotcha.
will come on
I
there.
gotcha. Good evening, members of council and audience. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Ms.
With
Mason,
you.
if you could identify yourself for the record, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, I was going to get to that.
Thank you.
My name is Pam Mason, and I'm here to, as a proponent of the wage theft legislation or ordinance. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with all of you today. I'm a resident of Euclid and a founding member of the Northeast Ohio Worker Center. At the Worker Center, which is fairly new, we're committed to organizing and building power for working people, and in part through grassroots advocacy on issues such as wage theft. This commitment led us to help form the Guardians for Fair Work in the fall of 2021. We're proud of what we've accomplished so far, which includes passing the wage theft ordinance in the city of Cleveland in December of 2022. We see ourselves as partners in tackling wage theft across the county. Every month we host a wage theft clinic, and we've had a total of 4 to help workers learn about wage theft. I had to learn about wage theft and their rights. We then help workers navigate the process of holding their employers accountable. Tonight, we are joined by board members, volunteers, and workers who have participated in our monthly wage theft clinics. I urge you all to support this ordinance. We thank County Council Dale Miller for the legislation and hope you will consider signing on as co-sponsors. Thank you again for this opportunity.
China Darrington.
And everyone, just for protocol, we appreciate the energy, but we don't want to clap or jeer at this time.
China Darrington and Brian Bayless from Thrive Peer Recovery Services. Council President Jones, Vice President Stevens, and members of the Cuyahoga County Council, thank you for the opportunity to offer public comment today. I would like to take my time here today to highlight a need for effective supported workforce development in Cuyahoga County and a successful workforce development project that we've been offering for the past year. We have a tremendous need for behavioral health services in Cuyahoga County. 1 in 5 of us is affected by a behavioral health issue like substance use or mental health disorders. But we're experiencing a behavioral health workforce crisis like never before. The Ohio Council of Behavioral Health put out a report last year entitled Breaking Point, Ohio's Behavioral Health Workforce Crisis, and in it, it highlights a 353% increase in demand for services in behavioral health treatment. And demand also rose sharply during the pandemic years and is anticipated to rise further by 2030. A federal agency, SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, further reported that the need for increase of peer supporters was over 4,693%, an incredible figure. Peer recovery support can help individuals seeking or trying to sustain their recovery with services, and we are often the ones keeping individuals engaged and motivated while they may be waitlisted before seeing a provider. Currently, demand far outstrips our ability to provide because of a lack of a qualified workforce. Thrive has run 3 cohorts in the past year, providing an 11-week paid internship program to help difficult-to-employ Cuyahoga County residents with lived experience having successfully managed a mental health or substance use disorder. We provide these individuals with job readiness skills and training that lead to become an Ohio State certified peer recovery supporter, and then the mentoring and shadowing opportunities in a variety of settings to give our candidates the best understanding of what the job is and how for them to be successful in that role. A full 100% of our candidates successfully graduated our program, and 75% went on to full-time employment in roles that pay a living wage and often benefits. They can provide for themselves and their family, and they have purpose in their lives and actively participate in the betterment of their community. We'll be following up with members of council to see if we can provide more information on how we can work together to meet the demand of Cuyahoga County's behavioral health needs and how we would like to expand this successful program to be able to offer it to more individuals in Cuyahoga County. Thank you for your time.
Rebecca Morrow.
Good afternoon, Council President, the rest of County Council. My name is Councilwoman Rebecca Moorer. I serve on Cleveland City Council. I'm honored to be here today at the request of Council President Blaine Griffin, as well as the many incredible advocates and leaders behind me in support of the county introducing wage theft legislation this evening. We passed wage theft legislation in the city of Cleveland because we stand with workers, and we're absolutely here today because we know that you all stand with workers too. We know that wage theft is already illegal in the state of Ohio, but it is still one of the largest type of property theft that happens throughout our society. There is more wages stolen from workers than all of the burglaries, break-ins, and robberies that you hear about combined. So we need different tools to tackle this problem, and the wage theft legislation supported by Guardians for Fair Work is one of those tools. It means that the county would make sure that it does not partner and give money to employers who steal from their workers. The city is implementing our law. We're excited to implement it, and we're even more excited to partner with other municipalities in Cuyahoga County and the county overall to make sure that we hold employers accountable evenly across the region. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today, and have a great rest of your evening.
Chris Martin.
Chris Martin, City of Cleveland, Council District 7. I am the chair of Clevelanders for Public Transit, and I am a member of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party Central Committee and Executive Committee. I'm glad to see Ordinance 2023-0009, a law providing for the debarment of companies involved in wage theft, be introduced today. I urge County Council to pass it into law expeditiously. This ordinance would provide Cuyahoga County with an enforcement mechanism against illegal behavior that costs American workers $15 billion each year. And it's not just workers who lose out due to wage theft. In fact, Cuyahoga County's budget is starved of critical tax revenue, while the most responsible businesses are undercut by competitors that openly flout the law. And we do need a local enforcement mechanism. Ohio employers steal from an estimated 213,000 workers a year by paying them less than the wage, by paying them less than the state or federal minimum wage. Yet Ohio has only 5 investigators and a single supervisor charged with enforcement. As a society, we spent about a year calling these victims of wage theft essential workers. Clevelanders for Public Transit has spent much of its time since then arguing that we do not do enough to help these folks get to work. That's still true. We need more and better public transit service to get folks to work and all the other needs of their daily lives. Once they get to work, we must protect them from greedy bosses who would steal their wages. Therefore, Clevelanders for Public Transit is pleased to stand in solidarity with Guardians of Fair Work, a coalition of labor unions, community organizations, and residents dedicated to advancing pro-worker policies in Northeast Ohio.
Jennifer Johnson. Ms. Johnson, is the green light on?
Nope, it is not.
Thank
I'm
you.
so sorry. Thank you. My name's Jennifer Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of Canopy Child Advocacy Center. I'm here on behalf of all of the abused children in Cuyahoga County. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and I'm just here to thank you for supporting the victims of child abuse that you do through the initiatives that you have supported, and also just continue to make you aware of the need to provide additional support for victims that experience child abuse. There's over 12,000 screened-in investigations into Cuyahoga County each year of victims that experience child abuse, and the need to be able to provide services that support them through prevention and intervention is really important. We served 500 kids last year, providing mental health services and victim advocacy to them through the CAC, and we planted 500 pinwheels in a garden outside of Fort Huntington Park this year in honor of those kids, because we believe that every kid deserves an opportunity to experience safety, healing, and well-being, and that they all have a opportunity to have a bright future, but that it's not going to be possible without the right supports and intervention. So I thank you guys for all of the support that you've continued to provide to this initiative. I know it's really important to all of you, and I encourage you to continue to do so through the formal proclamation that you supported, naming April as Child Abuse Prevention Month, but also to continue to support initiatives such as Canopy and other organizations that are really working to do this work with these victims in the county. Thank you.
Lou?
Good evening, everybody. Well, here again, I'm here to tell you what happened to the people stay in the Hale, just for example, or even 2100 Lakeside Avenue. People in general think the homeless people are lazy, they don't want to work. The problem here is, even they can find a job, doesn't matter it's a job through a temporary job agency or not. Lots of time when they get a job, they expect to get paid. But guess what? The boss will tell them, sorry, the payroll company has a trouble, so you cannot really get your paycheck this week. You have to wait. So now weeks after weeks, when you don't get paid, you have no way to save up the money. Even you cannot get a food to eat while you are outside of the shelters. So what can you do? You have to quit that job, try to find another one. That is also wage theft. However, even we will have this good legislations, but I wish everybody would think about the people who can only work for the companies which don't do business with the county government. Then how would they get protected? These people don't have a means to go to prosecutor office or to find a lawyer to sue these unlawful companies. What should we do? On the other hand, they still have to stuck in the environment which is inhumane. They try to find another job, same thing. They cannot do the laundry because you have to do your laundry at a certain time. They still cannot really get their food. It doesn't matter your job has a different shift, doesn't matter hours. Myself, I have become homeless shelterless again. Why? Same thing. For me to sleep on 3 chairs in the hallway. And guess what? I still have to be harassed. So my health condition cannot be improved. So I will be stuck at my workplaces. Because for me to go back in to the hell, I don't have enough time and I don't have enough physiques to handle that. We need lots of help. Not just the people right now at risk to be homeless. Also, the existing homeless population needs more help too. Is our county have the compassion to give a hand, to help out? Hopefully there's a politics that we can decrease in order to make sure that everybody gets help. Otherwise, as I said before, we will only die together instead of thrive together. Thank you.
That concludes the public comment portion for today's meeting.
All right, thank you, Andrea. Can we have a motion to approve our minutes as presented in today's agenda?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor of approving the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. At this time, we'll entertain a motion to excuse our council members, Jack Strawn and Yvonne Conwell, from today's meeting.
Make that motion.
Second.
Again, probably moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. At this time, we will have messages from our county executive.
Thank you, Council President, members of council, and thank you, members of the public, and for the public comments just made. I'll be brief. Council President did want to just reference a few events related to initiatives happening right now in our community and nationwide. This week is Reentry Week. Here in Cuyahoga County, there's a host of events happening. Want to just say thank you to Councilwoman Turner and Councilman Sweeney today, and maybe others that were at the Chopping for Change Chopped event at Lutheran Metropolitan Ministries. This was an event that hosted in a, I guess it's a cook-off, but a culinary experience with returning citizens coming back to our community as certified culinary experts that they may not have been when they went in. So having a skill to bring back to this community and be a part of economic development, and I know you're going to be at another event this week, Council President, out at Edwin's, that brings the same verve to helping persons gain skills to reenter our community with employable skills. So being there today, and I want to thank the Office of Reentry for helping LMM host that. There will be events all week. They're on our county website to celebrate our citizens returning and again, to help them skill up. It was a great event today. I want to reference tomorrow as a part of National Child Abuse Prevention Month. And thank you, Ms. Jameson and the Canopy team that we're here today to discuss the importance, especially for the 12,000 kids experiencing and witness to and experiencing child abuse in our community. Want to say that we stand in solidarity, and we'll be walking tomorrow from the Jane Edna Hunter building in the 10 o'clock hour here to this building, the administration building, from the 10:30 to 12 as a part of recognition of the importance of leaning in to prevent child abuse in our community and throughout our country. So another event you can be part of tomorrow, I think, Councilwoman Turner, you're going to receive at the end of the parade, the march, our citizens, and I'm going to be at the beginning of it. So want to also say thanks to those who came out to ride on Earth Day. We had an 8-mile ride with 8 mayors in our community and a number of members of council, and moreover, and more importantly, nearly 200 citizens that came out to ride to support bike-friendly communities in our community and also celebrate Trails Day here in Cuyahoga County. It was a great community outing, and we hope to do it again next year. But between the days of Earth Day, Everyday Earth Day, and Arbor Day coming up on Friday, we will be launching tomorrow in celebration of Arbor Day on Friday, but Everyday Arbor Day as well on the County Planning Commission website, the Healthy Urban Tree Canopy Program, again, with your support, with $1 million going, and I want to just shout out to Councilwoman Simon and others for your ongoing support for a better environment, a better climate stewardship. So putting our tree canopy as much as we can back in place in the Forest City. Persons can actually apply online for opportunities to receive funding for urban tree canopy in their communities on the website. And finally, I want to say, perhaps a little out of turn because you've got business in front of you that's referent to it, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you thus far and more to go with a partnership with you on our housing program and bringing forth Sarah Parks Jackson before you today, again, as a consideration for the first historic director of Department of Housing here in Cuyahoga County, and to your family that's here today and your family of sisters from Alpha Kappa Alpha. It's just good to see all of you in support of a wonderful part of this county community, Sarah Parks Jackson. Thanks again, Council President.
All right, thank you. This time, legislation introduced by council. Consideration of resolutions of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2023-0110, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to Global Cleveland for the Welcoming Workforce Project from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2023-0111, awarding a total sum not to exceed $20,000 to the Brenda Glass Multipurpose Trauma Center for general operating support from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2023-0112, awarding a total sum not to exceed $35,000 to the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio for the Stronger Together project from the District 9 and 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions of council for second reading.
Resolution 2023-0091, awarding a total sum not to exceed $35,000 to the City of North Olmsted for the Springvale Ballroom ADA Ramp Project from the District 1 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading.
Resolution 2023-0092, awarding a total sum not to exceed $186,173 to the City of Seven Hills for the Calvin Park Splash Pad Project from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading.
Resolution 2023-0093, awarding a total sum not to exceed $186,173 to the City of Independence for the Rockside Woods Boulevard Sidewalk Installation Project from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading.
Resolution 2023-0094, awarding a total sum not to exceed $186,173 to the Village of Moreland Hills for the President Garfield Birth Site and Cabin Path Stairs Project from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading.
Resolution 2023-0095, awarding a total sum not to exceed $157,531 to the Village of Gates Mills for the Chagrin River Road Sidewalk Extension Project from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading.
Resolution 2023-0098, awarding a total sum not to exceed $40,000 to the Family First Child Care doing business as Family First Village for the GED Works program from the District 9 Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading.
Resolution 2023-0099, awarding a total sum not to exceed $20,000 to the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Foundation for a local filmmaker night during the 13th Greater Cleveland Urban Film Foundation Film Festival from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading.
Resolution 2023-0100, awarding a total sum not to exceed $75,000 to the West Creek Conservancy for the acquisition and conservation of 15 acres of headwater habitat of the Chippewa Creek watershed from the District 11 Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading. Consideration of resolutions of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0066, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Village of Glen Willow for the Cochrane Road Phase 2 reconstruction project from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Motion to adopt. Motion to adopt.
Second.
Yeah. Mr. President, this was in Councilman Schwan's ward, and we thoroughly discussed these ARPA funds through committees, and communities that are receiving these funds are very pleased with the ability to do so, and councils going forward with this these projects for them. I'd ask my colleagues' support.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0067, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Village of Chagrin Falls for wastewater treatment plant improvements, Phase 2 from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. This matter was heard in Environment and Sustainability Committee last week and heard from the Mayor of Chagrin Falls. This is Phase 2 of a wastewater project, which is quite innovative and interesting in that it has some green aspects to it, including some solar renewable energy aspects, and I would ask for your support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0068, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Village of Oakwood for Phase 1 of the Oak Leaf Road reconstruction project from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And again, these are from the ARPA funds, and this was discussed thoroughly in Public Works for this road reconstruction in the Village of Oakwood, and I ask for my colleagues' support on this piece of legislation.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0069, awarding a total sum not to exceed $38,700 to the Village of Bentleyville for the Riverview Park Improvements Project from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this matter was heard in Community Development Committee and it was passed out of the committee, so I ask for your support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0070, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Village of Mayfield for permanent restrooms at the Grove Amphitheater from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Mr. President, this came to Community Development, and it has our full support.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Council President, we need a motion.
A motion and a second.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0071, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Village of Walton Hills for the Village Hall Community Room Roofing Project from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Mr. President, this also came before the Community Development Committee, and we recommend approval.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0072, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the City of Solon for the Solon Community Park Improvements Project from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This too came before the Community Development Committee, and we are in full support of moving this forward.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0073, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the City of Broadview Heights for the purpose of constructing a new headquarters fire station from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This too came before the Community Development Committee, and we are in full support.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0074, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the City of Mayfield Heights for a new pool at the Aquatic and Community Center from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This too came before the Community Development Committee, and we are in full support.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0075, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the City of Brecksville for the ADA improvements at the Brecksville Community Center from the District 6 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This request came before the Community Development Committee, and we are in full support.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0076, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Enterprise Community Partners, Inc. for the infusing lived expertise into system-level housing solutions project, and it's from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second. Simon.
Mr. President, the county's portion of this ARPA award is a small portion of the total project cost. The project will assist in providing stability for those experiencing and exiting homelessness. I ask for my colleagues' support of this very important legislation.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0077, making an award to College Now Greater Cleveland in the amount of $500,000 from the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Fund for Component 2 of the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Program for the period ending June 30th, 2027.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. This matter was heard in the Education Committee last week, and we heard from College Now about the success of this program. It's incredibly successful in that the retention is way beyond the national average. We're hovering around 70%. This is a county council program, and we want to continue with this because it's just off the charts. And it provides scholarships for first-time college students below the poverty line. And because of the mentoring that occurs at College Now, it enables these students to get through their 4 years. And so I'm proud to support this and ask everybody else to really pay attention to this as we're really leading the nation on how to do this well.
Mr. President, would you add my name as a sponsor, please?
That Councilwoman Stevens' name.
Mr. President, I'd also like my name added.
That Councilman Dale Miller's name.
Martin Sweeney's as well.
Councilman Sweeney's. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0078, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County Non-Bargaining Classification Plan.
Move to adopt.
Second.
President, on April 4th, the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee heard from Albert Bushaheen of the Personnel Review Commission on proposed class plan changes. The two deletions resulted from the impacted employees joining a collective bargaining unit. Of the 5 proposed class plan modifications, 4 resulted from routine maintenance by the PRC. The final modification came after consultation with the Planning Commission and is recommended and endorsed by Director Searby. I ask my colleagues' support of this legislation.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of an ordinance for council for first reading and referral to committee.
Ordinance 2023-0009, amending Section 505.03 of the Cuyahoga County Code to provide that wage theft committed by current or prospective contractors shall be grounds for debarment.
All right, this item will be referred to the Council Operations, Intergovernmental Relations, and Public Transportation Committee.
Mr. President.
Councilman Miller.
Mr. President, I would like to thank the Guardians for fair work and your allies for coming down tonight to support this legislation, and to thank Nora Kelly from my district in working with me on it. Also to thank Council Members Sweeney and Kelly for your co-sponsorship, and just say that it's really a great opportunity, and I'm proud to have the opportunity to lead the discussion on this important legislation. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman.
Mr. President, please add my name to this legislation.
In addition, would you please add my name?
Meredith Turner and Cheryl Stevens.
And Simon.
Names to be added.
And
Mine
so-
too as well.
Councilwoman Sunny Simon.
Please add my name as well. Thank you.
Councilman Scott Tuma.
Just want to confirm, we have council members Turner, Stevens, Simon, and Tuma.
Yes. Thank you. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the rules are suspended.
Resolution 2023-0113, amending the 2022-2023 biennial operating budget for 2023 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments. Director Parfiowicz's answers to our questions are on your desks. Notable are an appropriation of $1,436,236 that we received from the Public Children's Services Association of Ohio to improve our foster care system, and a cash transfer of $8,118,000 to Metro Health for their second quarter subsidy. The appropriation for Metro Health was approved in the last fiscal agenda. The rest is routine. I recommend passage on first reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0114, approving a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County and the Fraternal Order of Police, Ohio Labor Council, Inc., representing approximately 13 employees in the classification of Protective Services Officer Sergeant in the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department for the period January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This item was previously discussed in our executive session, and I do recommend it for passage. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0115, approving a proposed settlement in the matter of Tanya Castleberry, guardian of Joshua Castleberry et al. Versus Cuyahoga County et al. United States District Court, Northern District of Ohio, case number 1.22, CV 1117.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This item also was previously discussed in executive session, and I do recommend it for passage. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2023-0116, adopting the annual alternative tax budget for the year 2024.
This item will be referred to the Finance and Budgeting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0117, confirming the county executive's appointment of Richard D. Maniloff upon taking his oath of office as Cuyahoga County Director of Law.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2023-0118, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Keith J. Libman to serve on the Cuyahoga County Audit Committee for the term January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2026.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2023-0119, confirming the county executive's appointment of Meltrice Sharp to serve on the Cuyahoga County Audit Committee for an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2025.
This item will be referred to the Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2023-0120, authorizing an amendment to a resolution dated February 12, 2019, which authorized the Department of Public Works to acquire the necessary rights of way to proceed with the reconstruction and widening of Sprague Road, Phase 1 from the Webster Road to West 130th Street in the cities of Middleburg Heights, North Royalton, Parma, and Strongsville, to change the parcel to a warranty deed, channel easement, and temporary easement to parcel 90WD, CH and AT, warranty deed, channel easement, aerial easement, and temporary easement.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0121, making an award on a purchase order to National Office Services in an amount not to exceed $1,053,570.50 for a state contract purchase of office furniture for the Jane Edna Hunter Building.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0122, making awards to various municipalities in the total amount of $3,004,930 for various projects or programs in connection with the 2022 and 2023 Community Development Block Grant Program for the period April 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2023. Municipalities, items A through U.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Mr. President, please add my name to this legislation.
Let's add Councilwoman Meredith Turner's name to this item.
If you could add my name as well, please,
Councilman.
as well as the next piece of legislation when we get to it.
Tuma?
Thank
Me
you.
too.
Kelly, please.
Who is me too?
And Sweeney, why not?
To the next two pieces
Yeah, the
of
next-
legislation.
Next two.
Sorry.
I just want to clarify the council members again. We have Meredith Turner, we have Scott Tuma,
Yes.
And for
Sunny
the
Simon,
The first item,
for the first item, Sunny Simon.
the second item.
And for the second.
And the second.
And
I just want to make sure first
Sorry.
for this one.
And
Then I
Sweeney
can-
for both.
Thank you.
Yeah, extra, sorry.
Okay.
Sweeney
And
for
Kelly for both.
Simon for both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Again, that item was referred to Community Development.
Excuse me, I just want to make sure where I am. Resolution 2023-0123, making awards to various municipalities and agencies in the total amount of $1,413,295.72 for various projects or programs in connection with the 2023 Community Development Supplemental Grant Program for the period April 1st, 2023 through March 31st, 2024.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Mr. President,
Councilman.
please add my name on this one.
Let's add the councilman's name.
Thank you.
Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution 2023-0054, confirming the county executive's appointment of Jacqueline M. Fletcher upon her taking the oath of office as Director of the Division of Children and Family Services in the Department of Health and Human Services.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0080, confirming the county executive's appointment of Sarah A. Nemistil upon her taking the oath of office as Director of Human Resources.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0105, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the replacement of Ridgewood Drive, bridge number 03.50 over West Creek in the city of Parma. Total estimated project cost, $2,500,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0106, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the rehabilitation of Lee Road, bridge number 00.77 over Mill Creek in the city of Maple Heights. Total estimated construction cost, $4,892,500. Also, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
This item will move to the May 9th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports in consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Rules are suspended.
Resolution 2023-0104, confirming the county executive's appointment of Ramona Davis to serve on the Cuyahoga County Community Improvement Corporation Board of Trustees for the term January 2nd, 2023 through January 1st, 2026.
Move to adopt.
Second.
President, with over 2 decades of experience in the banking industry, Ms. Davis has the ideal background to serve on this important board. She currently serves as a senior vice president with Huntington Bank, focusing on small business administration lending opportunities. She will serve as one of 5 county appointments to this 11-member board that is responsible for reviewing and assessing the county's bond capacity and strength. With the numerous capital projects being discussed by this council, it is vital that we have knowledgeable and experienced individuals serving on this important body. And I might add, as a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta, I want to acknowledge that her sorority sisters are also here. She is a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I believe Ms. Davis will serve us well on this board, and I ask for my colleagues' support of this appointment.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0107, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Bremer Investment Co., LLC, for lease of approximately 128 parking spaces located at 4209, 4213, and 4415 Euclid Avenue in the city of Cleveland for use by the Division of Children and Family Services for the period May 1st, 2008 through April 30th, 2023, to extend the time period to April 30th, 2028, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $455,200.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
President, on April 19th, 2023, Mr. John Myers from Public Works came before the committee to discuss this legislation. This is a 5-year term effective May 1st of 23 through April 30th of 2028. The county has leased the space prior since 2008. The funding comes 34% from federal Title IV Administration Fund and 66% from the HHS Levy Fund. The vendor has the duty to maintain the lot throughout the term of the lease, including plowing and snow removal. And it's going to be a convenience for our county workers and visitors to the building. So I would ask for my colleagues' support on this piece of legislation.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0108, making an award on requisition 11665 to Vandra Brothers Construction, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $2,747,507.25 for rehabilitation of Denham Road from Turney Road to Libby Road in the city of Maple Heights.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this piece of legislation was discussed before Public Works on April 19, 2023 by Ms. Nicole English. 80% of the funding comes from the County Motor Vehicle Fund, the $5 license tax fund, and 20% from the city of Maple Heights. Scheduled to begin work on May 1st, 2023 and end on October 1st of this year. It will include installation of new asphalt overlay, pavement repairs, curb repairs, utility adjustments, ADA upgrades, and new pavement markings. Traffic will be maintained throughout the construction period. The winning bid was the lowest and exceeded the DEI goals. So it was a good piece of legislation here. So I ask my colleagues' support on this.
Hey, Madam Clerk, please add my name to this item. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0109, making an award on requisition 8737 to YMCA of Greater Cleveland in the amount not to exceed $627,786 for building rehabilitation and repair in connection with the alternative housing and related services and support for COVID recovery for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. This item was heard in the Health and Human Services Committee. It was properly vetted, and I do ask for all of our colleagues' support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Council President?
Yes.
At this time, we're going to go out of order. We're going to turn to page 19, item K, and I will read that item into the record for consideration.
For consideration for third reading adoption. That's consideration.
Ordinance 2023-0007, amending Section 202.08 of the Cuyahoga County Code regarding the Department of Development and enacting a new Section 202.09 to establish the Department of Housing and Community Development.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This item was discussed. Again, the creation of a Department of Housing, and I do ask for my colleagues' support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, could you add my name as a sponsor, please?
Let's add Councilwoman Stevens' name.
And Turner.
And Turner.
Thank you. Now we're moving back to page 18, item I.
Item I, consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0055, confirming the county executive's appointment of Sarah Parks Jackson upon her taking the oath of office as Director of Housing and Community Development.
Move to adopt.
In order to establish a department so that it might be filled. Or, that's good work, Andrea. That it might be filled. All right. So it's properly moved and seconded. All right. So at this time,
We want to say all those in favor?
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, I guess I'm just excited, can't wait to get to this part. All right. Okay, so again, at this moment, we want to have our swearing in, and Cheryl, we're going to ask that you would serve. We ask that you come forward.
So, in keeping with work that our council president has initiated and the council executive, we are a team. This is a role reversal for Chris and I. He used to call me at some of my previous jobs, and my team and I would get things done. Now we're calling him, and he and his team will get things done. Together, exactly. This is incredibly important because, as you know, housing is a primary economic indicator. When your housing is not going well in the country, the gross national product is not happening well, the GDP is not happening well, and it is actually 5% of what happens in this country nationally. So it's incredibly important that we recognize it here in Cuyahoga County, that we find ways to make sure that our residents live better, and it in itself, because when you're doing rehab on a house, the time that the lock is turned to let the rehab team in there, money is spent, a good living wage for the person who's rehabbing it, and if it's new construction, the excavator operators in this town are usually union members, and it's $36, $37 an hour. These are great living wages. Housing is important to our economy, and I couldn't be prouder to be part of the team that helps this start. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Sarah, step forward. It is with delight that I bring you, my sister, into the fold of leaders in housing and community and economic. I, Sarah Parks Jackson.
I, Sarah Parks Jackson.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
that I will support and uphold
that I will support and uphold
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Charter and laws of Cuyahoga County,
and the Charter and laws of Cuyahoga County,
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
diligently,
diligently,
and impartially
and impartially
perform and discharge all of the powers
perform and discharge all of the powers
and duties
and duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as Director, Department of Housing and Community Development,
as Director, Department of Housing and Community Development,
and in and for the County of Cuyahoga County, State of Ohio,
and for County of Cuyahoga, State of Ohio,
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Speech. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Resolution 2023-0084, authorizing an amendment to a memorandum of understanding and agreement among various parties concerning Say Yes Cleveland for the period July 24th, 2019 through July 23rd, 2023, to amend prior listed aggregate amounts in the memorandum of understanding and the additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,100,000.
Move to adopt. Thank you very much. This matter was heard in the Education Committee last Wednesday. I just wanted to enlighten everybody about what this is. And in a nutshell, we had committed as a county council to 4 years of a pilot of Say Yes. When we started, we had support of the national organization, which has since folded. It's dissolved. We are able to fulfill the 4-year commitment with these dollars. It's a one-time allocation of TANF dollars from the state, in addition to HHS money that the executive has sponsored. I want to make clear that this program was conditioned upon and rested upon expectation that we would be receiving money for e-reimbursements. For the 4 years, we expected over $10 million of federal money. We only received $168,000 of reimbursements. That's a huge loss. If we continue along this path going forward, our HHS reserve is going to be gone in 5 years. I just want my colleagues to understand that. We expect that we might see another contract for a year, and we're going to have to look at that very closely to see if this is something we want to continue to fund, considering the testimony we heard earlier today about the social worker shortage in our own county department. So I support this. We're going to fulfill our commitment. Thank you, executive, and to the state for allowing this to happen. But, you know, I just want us to be cautious about moving forward with this commitment.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'm going to follow my colleague and support this, but since we've been here, I've seen some dumpster fires, and this is one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. And I thank Councilwoman Simon for having her committee meeting, and I welcome anybody, any citizen out there to watch the first committee meeting she had on this. It was disturbing beyond belief. Obfuscation, possible outright lying, dancing like I've never seen, couldn't answer a direct question, refusing to answer direct questions. There's a reason this thing went under nationally. And yet Cuyahoga County made a commitment, and we're standing by it. Regardless of what you read or what you hear from various media outlets, we're the ones standing by what we committed to. Very few others had, yet we took the hit. And we took the coordinated effort and campaign to attack the council. You're not going to do much to me. I'm kind of getting old in the tooth, and I really don't care. And when you're talking about kids and Cuyahoga kids and Cleveland kids, they're all kids, and we're trying to help out. When you start attacking the people that are handing you the money, you're going to have a problem. I'm going to watch it closely. We got a good, and I'll call her a bulldog on this. The councilwoman's watching it. I'm going to follow her lead to the very end. This say yes, there's something wrong. Where there's smoke, there's fire. This dumpster's on fire, so we got smoke and fire. And I hope we get to the bottom of it. So, Councilwoman, I'm going to follow your lead, and I'm glad you did what you did. And again, I highly recommend anybody go look at how she handled the Say Yes people and our in-house people that wouldn't answer a question. Very disturbing.
Thank you, Councilman. I want to say that this was a very exciting project for us 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. We were all behind this launch in Cleveland. But what was most disappointing was that members of the former administration who were really facilitating this project failed to tell us as council members that we were not receiving this reimbursement, the 4E. So we were presented with a budget without ever being informed that the anticipated reimbursement was not forthcoming. And that's the most disturbing piece of this. So it's just a question of how we move forward. I just want to say it's a great idea. It's something I wish we could fund, but it looks doubtful, and hopefully we'll get some new configuration. The other Say Yes cities have changed the name of the program because it's just not living up to what the original intent was. Thank you, Councilman Gallagher and my colleagues for listening and understanding what happened here.
Mr. Chairman, could you add my name to it?
Councilman Sweeney's name.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of an ordinance for first reading and referral to committee.
Ordinance 2023-0010, amending Chapter 705 of the Cuyahoga County Code to provide a uniform procedure for collection of charges for connecting to the county's water and sewer facilities throughout County Sewer District 14.
This item will be referred to the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee.
And just a reminder, item K has already been considered and approved.
Consideration of an ordinance for third reading adoption has already been considered. So we are now at this time looking at miscellaneous committee reports.
Mr. President,
Councilman Miller.
my colleagues, the one item referred today for finance and budget was referred with plenty of time, and therefore finance and budget will not meet next week, but we will hear that item on Monday, May the 15th at 1 p.m., along with our discussion of the first quarter actuals and related financial information, which has already been planned. Thank you.
All right.
Mr. President, as far as Public Works goes, I'm going to inquire as to the necessity of the promptness of the legislation, and if we need to meet, we'll meet. If not, I'll let committee members know. Thank you.
Okay.
President Safety, Tuesday, 1 o'clock.
Mr. President, Human Resources will not meet on May 2nd, and I do want to encourage everybody to cast your vote. It's Election Day, May 2nd.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for referring that piece of legislation to the Council Operations. We'll meet at the regularly scheduled time.
Any other?
Mr. Council,
Yes, go right ahead.
Community Development will meet at 10 o'clock on Monday the 1st.
All right. Any other?
Sorry, Wednesday, May 3rd at 3.
Okay.
2 items referred today.
Any other reports? All right. At this time, is there any miscellaneous business?
Mr. President?
Yes, Councilman.
Yeah, just very briefly, I just want to thank my colleague Meredith Turner for setting up the Judicial Education and General Candidates Forum at the Liberty Hill Baptist Church yesterday. I was an invited guest to go out there, and I know Council President was out there as well. And it was a perfect opportunity to see democracy in action. It was just an opportunity for people to hear from candidates running for judicial office, and just a reminder, regardless of political party or affiliation, to get out and cast your vote. So I just want to thank the Councilwoman, because I know she would be too modest to humble to take credit for that, but absolutely did a fantastic job with a great turnout. So thank you.
And I echo those words. We were both there. It was an honor to be there. And just a shout out to the Divine Nine and all of our Black Greek fraternities have done, and sororities. It really was an important day, and I was just honored to be there myself. So again, shout out to all Divine Nine. All right, thank you. All right, any other miscellaneous business? If not, if nothing else holds our attention, this meeting is now adjourned.